I mean, I've always been interested in nature.
Kind of Mother Nature's perfect animal, you know?
Seeing Nile crocodiles and being kind of terrified.
Welcome to the Nature Talks podcast. Welcome to Nature Talks, the podcast that delivers deep into the wonders of the natural world. From the lush rainforests to the vast oceans, from the soaring mountains to the delicate ecosystems, Nature Talks is your gateway to understanding the intricate web of life that sustains us all. Nature Talks is not just about exploration, it's also a call to action. We believe that by understanding the natural world, we can inspire positive change and become stewards for our environment. So whether you are a seasoned nature lover, Nature Talks is something for everyone. Together, let's celebrate the beauty of our planet and unite to protect and conserve its extraordinary diversity. Get ready to be inspired, informed, and amazed by the stories that unfold in each episode of Nature Talks. Subscribe now on your favorite podcast platform and join us in this incredible adventure. Today with us, we have Dr. Juan, who is a passionate marine biologist and ocean explorer, who is dedicated to protecting the environment with a deep respect for the ocean. This marine scientist and dive master has worked on numerous projects ranging from macroscopic dinoflagellate cysts to seahorses, sea urchins, sea stars, coral reefs, mangroves, sea turtles, dolphins, sharks, seabirds, MPA's ocean pollution, and even establishing marine department and government guidelines. So Dr. Juan, hello, and can you please introduce yourself and tell us about your background in the environment conservation and marine biology?
Hello everybody. Well, as you already said pretty well, thank you for describing it. I am a marine biologist and I've been working in marine science since that was 1999 that I started my career in Colombia. And then I did it in Colombia for 3 years and then in the Caribbean for another 4. And then I did my first conservation project in deep sea corals, which my bachelor's thesis. After that, I worked in conservation 1 year in Chile in different marine protected areas. After that, I spent 3 years in Canada, in Quebec, doing my master's, which I worked in echinoderm behavior. Following that, I spent almost 6 years in Hong Kong doing my PhD, working in echinoderms in a commercial species of sea urchins. Then I spent 2 years in Thailand working in, again, echinoderms, sea stars and sea urchins. That was behavioral ecology. And after that, I moved to UAE and started working in different projects. I work in Dubai at the Were Islands. In Abu Dhabi, I work in a coral project, and Fujairah were in different projects. So I've been into marine science all my life, mainly academic, to the point that now it's more like directing projects, right? So then the impact on conservation or sustainability or in pro the ecosystem is bigger, right? It's not just one project. You have many things on your hand that you can contribute like in a positive way. I've been diving most of my life for research. I have almost 1,000 dives, more or less 45 days underwater of my life, which is beautiful. I recommend everybody to get a dive course.
So we know that the coral reefs are vital ecosystems. They provide home for countless different species of fish, juveniles, and also they help protect our coastline. So yet they face a lot of threats worldwide. So John, what do you think are some of the major challenges that coral reefs are currently facing in the UAE?
Well, they're not just in UAE, but worldwide, but mainly in UAE. You got the land reclamation. That's a big deal, and also you have the rising of the sea water temperatures, the pollution, the overfishing, but mainly coastal development. That's the main problem for the coral reefs. That's like the main threat for the coral reef in UAE. And like by default, you got the ocean acidification, and that's like in general the big problem for the corals in UAE.
Yeah, indeed, it's very sad because we're using these extraordinary ecosystems. Threats aside, so Dr. John, what do you think that, could you share with us some of the ongoing coral restoration efforts in the UAE and how, they are being carried out and what are the main objectives that you have in mind for those coral restoration programs?
Something that benefits the UAE is the resources they have for coral restoration, for rehabilitation. So we need to be clear that rehabilitation and restoration are different things. Restoration is a long term, which is really, really difficult because once you have a perturbation in an area, then rehabilitate it is difficult, but restore that is really, really difficult, right? So the rehabilitation projects is mainly done in UAE in different, like each emirate is working on it. You have Abu Dhabi, you have Dubai, you have Sharjah, you have Ras Al Khaimah. All of them have different projects. Each of them has a different size of the magnitude of the projects, and the biggest one was in Abu Dhabi. I was working with them in Abu Dhabi, and it's called the Discovery Islands. So we get a coral nursery of that was 2 years ago, of 300, almost 250,000 fragments of corals, but not branch corals, the brain corals. So it was the biggest worldwide at the moment, at that time. And so the amount of energy or resources or time or dedication for these entities, it's huge, right? Because when you're talking about these numbers of corals, like it's 250,000 corals, right? So imagine the magnitude of people and time and logistics, right? And it's one project, and then every emirate has more than one, right? Dubai has also projects on rehabilitation. They are also aware because for example, they want to build something at the beach. They all has this regulation of relocate the coral reefs, right? It's not the best, but it's a good approach in terms of like protection. Before it was just like, I'm just gonna build on top. Who cares? Now is you don't relocate it to a safer place, you cannot build anything, right? So it's great. It's great. It's a good mentality of like resources and advantage of it.
It is believed that in the old houses of the UAE, corals were used as a lot of foundation, as used as decorations. So coral reefs do have a historical significance also for the UAE. So heading off to turtles now, sea turtles. So Dr. Juan, the UAE of course is home to two species of turtles, the green and the hawksbill. So could you tell us about these species and their significance in the region's marine environment?
Right. So they are the main turtles, but they are not the only ones crossing UAE waters, right? So you have a litterbacks, right? But there's more than two species. They are the dominant species, right? And they have a certain period for nesting. And this nesting period is really important because it's when people need to be aware on helping the turtles. Why I say helping the turtles? Because the turtles been traveling for long periods, and they just have few energy to go back and lay the eggs, right, and go back and feed themselves again freely. But just not that. It's just you need to help them in several ways. One, it's giving them the opportunity to find a nesting site. How you do that is use. If you go to the beaches in Dubai, you will see there is no garbage on it, right? Because you have people cleaning the beach, right? But those are heavily, let's say, anthropogenically used. But there are a lot of beaches like the Jebel Ali, right? You don't have that manpower cleaning all the time. So when it's called the nesting site, if there's too much garbage, the tortoise cannot go to find the nest. So you have people and corporations and NGOs to clean up the beach. That's the first step. You need to clean up the beach. After cleaning up the beach, you need to talk to the different like shareholders that are on the beach, ports and restaurants and you name it, to reduce the illumination during the evenings and early mornings. Because if it's too much light, the turtles won't find a nesting place, right? Aside of that, the area that turtles nest in Dubai are exposed to natural predators like foxes or cats, or even some humans that go and get the eggs, right? Because that was the tradition to eat the eggs of the turtles, right? So you need to protect mainly from the natural predators, and the way at least the Emirates Environmental Group in Jebel Ali was doing it is just you put a guard work, half of a guard work on top of the nest that avoids predators to have access to the nest, but the mesh size is big enough for the turtles to crawl out, right? That said, you need to find it at the right time and put it. If you take too long, then the fox will find it before you. And not just that. This is just like the simple thing. The main thing that everybody needs to be on tune and doing the same thing is what to do if you see a turtle that is sick or endangered or stranded, right? Because they are weak and they've been traveling for so long. So most of them need extra help, right, during this period. And there's something that I want to, and I will say it slowly so everybody will remember it, is a national number for helping turtles. And the national number is 800 turtle. Okay? Once you call that number, there is this direct link with the Jumeirah Turtle Rehabilitation Center, right? And they will help you and provide you all the support you need. This number was donated by Sheikh Wasim, and he's the turtle sheikh, we call it like that. He is in pro of conservation of the turtles, right? But then after that, something that everybody needs to know, it's what to do if you find a turtle. First of all, you know if it's sick or not if you can get the turtle. If you get close to the turtle and you're not able to touch it, it's because the turtle is healthy, right? That's need your help. Leave it alone. You're just chilling at the beach, something like that. But if you get close to the turtle and the turtle doesn't move and you can grab it, it's because it needs help. Normally, these turtles has being uh, they leave space to colonization of the ecbionts, which are like the barnacles or the oysters or the algae. They normally they like clean themselves because they when they have a lot of energy, but when they don't have time to do it. So the misconception of most of the people is getting knives or whatever sharp object and release it. That's completely wrong because instead of helping the turtle, you are hurting the turtle, right? What you need to do is call the 800 turtle number and then you will get support right away. So what you can do on site is if the turtle is on the sun, just put it on the shade. 100% recommendable to put it in fresh water. Put it in fresh water to the point that the turtle head is out of the water, right? Because they don't have enough strength to keep it to move the head, right? So if it's just like this, so they can lie down the head, they can breathe. But the fresh water, what it does is start killing the barnacles, right? Or the algae or the oysters. Meanwhile, somebody get sent meanwhile they send the support. Um, Also, be aware of avoid pollution, right? Because it's just an open space. You're thinking, I'm just gonna throw it. Somebody come and clean. That's the misconception. People will come and clean, but you need to leave it clean so the turtles or other animals will be able to use it as well. Hmm? Also, you avoid pollution. And what all the garbage you throw to the beach, they go to the ocean, and you know the whole process. I'm not gonna repeat the whole process. They go to other animals. It at the point comes back to you, right? So use the resources, but use it wisely, right? Share the space. It's a beach that is not your beach. It's everybody's beach. So you use it. Keep the garbage in the bag, and keep it with you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Juan, for all the wonderful steps which we can do to help the turtles. Dr. Juan, what let's say is the few problems turtle face? You mentioned about the barnacles issues and the coastal development. What about plastic? Are the turtles in the UAE consuming plastic? Have there been cases, or let's say, are they being hit by boats as well? Or those are very rare?
Yes. We want everything so simple. We want everything so clean and proper, right? So people are used to get the bag, inside the package, right? Don't use that many plastic bags because you don't need it. Here, you go to any shop and you buy I don't know, chips or a candy, they will give you a plastic bag to put that plastic. So that's one thing, awareness from you. You think about not polluting. Polluting is not just throwing it on the sea. Polluting is using something that is not biodegradable in hundreds of years, right? Because all of that garbage goes to one point, mainly the oceans. And then is when many animals, including turtles, they eat it. Why? Because they get confused of what is floating, right? So when you see a sea turtle, there are different reasons why. Or because it's sick, or because it's tired of traveling, or because it eats plastic, so your stomach cannot digest it, and then it goes completely. It get blocked, right? So you get sick. Also, is the tourism, the overuse of the beaches with boats and like jet skis, fishing activities needs to be better coordinated, right? So when turtles get entangled in the fishing nets, right? You need to be careful on knowing how to release the turtle from the net, right? Because turtles, they need to breathe. So if it gets entangled down the water, it will die, right? If you remove it too strong, you're gonna like harm the turtle because that's a sharp. The material they make the net is a sharp nylon. Also, when you remove a turtle from a deep the depth, for example, 10 meters or 5 meters, and then you keep it right away to the surface, then it's bad, right? Once you do jet ski or boat or sailing, right, just try to minimize the impact you do, right? Not overuse it.
Wonderful, Dr. Juan. Always great to hear all the solutions from the experts. So, Dr. Juan, I will ask you a fun question now. What is some of your favorite experiences with corals and sea turtles?
One I really enjoyed with corals is when I was doing this the mega project in Dubai. So the maintenance process is a daily routine, right? So you were in the water. So I love it because it was just every day diving. Every single day in the morning, you dive. So the fun thing is, once you establish the coral nursery, because that's the main approach for coral restoration is establishing coral nurseries. So we did it in the ocean, not on a control site or indoor. And what is really cool is every time you went to clean we call it coral blocks, right? It's just there are different ways to make it, but the ones we were using is like a concrete block, like it's a kind of a muffin of concrete, and then you put the coral fragment on top. So this get full of barnacles and oysters and algae. So you need to go and clean it. Why you need to go and clean it? Because that's what we call a nursery. Because you need to help the coral to grow. So the whole fragmentation process is why they fragment corals to grow corals. It's a simple way I'll be trying to explain to everybody is you have your skin and your skin cells, right? And you have it there. There's no growth or extra like cell division. But if you get a cut, right, your cells start like dividing like exponentially because they need to regenerate that tissue, right? It's the same in coral or in plants when you get a piece of a branch and then you just plant it. But corals, because they are animals, the cell division is different, right? And because they have like a sexual division, so they regenerate themselves. So you kind of like force them to grow faster. And some of them can grow even 20 times faster, right? So you fragment them and you put it in nurseries where you provide the small fragments some extra care. That's why for the cleaning. You're cleaning their area so they don't have anybody to compete for space, right? During that process, when you get a lot, and because we were doing it all the time, we have fish, like different fish. You have like angelfish, you have batfish, you have like some groupers. They were there with you. Really, when you get there, you start diving, and they come in and dive with you. It's not like when you dive and you get close to the fish is scared of you. But these guys were just coming to you and diving with you, like swimming with you. But down there, you get let's say they come to blood, right? And then you start screaming, they're like cleaning it, and they just there to eat it because you break the oysters, you break the algae, you break the barnacles, and that's what they eat. So they're just waiting there to be fed. That was super nice because you have like hundreds of them, like swimming around you. That was nice for the coral. For turtle, once I was also going for in the nursery, at coral nursery, there was really strong current, and the visibility wasn't the best. So what I did is, because you need to clean it anyways, right? And then so I get the coral and just I attach myself to the bottom of the cage, of like a coral bed. And let's say I was in this position cleaning it, so but I was tight underneath, and I didn't notice or realize because it was really not good visibility. I have a huge green turtle next to me, looking at me, like. And she was doing the same. She was like covering herself, like protecting from the strong current underneath the coral bed. But I didn't notice, right? At some point, I looked around, I looked to the right, and I saw the turtle looking at me. A huge turtle, like probably 1.2, 1.5 meters. And that was really nice. I felt like I have a company of a turtle. It was nice.
Thank you so much, Dr. Juan. So to end, one last point. What's your message to all our audience?
Enjoy the natural resources that are provided, but educate yourself. And if you know something, share it. You don't need, if you want to do an impact in the society, you don't need to be a politician. You don't need to be the owner of like a millionaire company. If you have an impact in one person, that's a goal, because that person will have the same impact in a second person. Then it's two people impacting in four, and so on. Try to impact the number of people that you can naturally. When it's telling them don't do it, they will do it. We are like that. You tell a kid, do not eat ice cream, and then he go and eat ice cream. Right? So that's it. Share that knowledge to people. And be the example. If you are the example, then other ones will follow.
Thank you so much, Dr. Juan. Wonderful speaking to you. Thank you so much for sharing your experience, ways of taking care of coral reefs and turtles, and much more. And I wish you all the best.
I mean, I've always been interested in nature.
Kind of Mother Nature's perfect animal, you know?
Seeing Nile crocodiles and being kind of terrified.
Welcome to the Nature Talks podcast.